Greetings, everyone. It's Paul Everton, the host of the Truth Table. This is episode 24, season 2, Thursday, December 18th, the day before the Three Eye Atlas will be close to Earth. Now, is this another April 8th eclipse going on, or? Oh my God, I lost connection. Oh boy, this could happen over and over again. Oh man. So they're messing with my internet. So if I drop out, I may it'll bring me right back in. It won't end the stream. But anyway, I'm just preparing myself. Now, Dana Metcalf was supposed to be on yesterday, but we didn't make it happen. And she is the director of communications for um, Turning Point Canada. And she has asked me to join them in the media department to host a podcast like this and to cover stories and that on the Turning Point Canada. And I think that would be an awesome opportunity. My guest today, John Zotynia, I think I said that right. Zotynia is my guest today, and we're going to try to let people know how to raise your frequencies and how to deal with, dark things and, you know, work together to, find ways to get out of these darkness that we're dealing with, and we are dealing with lots. But I'm not sure when I got cut off. But there's a good chance I could be joining the Turning Point Canada, which would be awesome. I will try to get Dana back on, as she's the director of communications for Turning Point Canada, and I think that would be a great opportunity for the Truth Table. Of course, I will probably have to change my logo to Turning Point Canada, which is fine. I have no problem. I could do both even. But we're gonna see if we can raise your frequencies, and I just like to thank the Creator for the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, um, the fellowship, the brotherhood and sisterhood, the divine feminine, the divine masculines that have been brought together in these dark days. We can raise our frequencies together. We don't have to do this alone. And me and my friend, my guest today, are going to do our best to do just that and to unite, not divide, right after this. So, can we work through our dark energies? Well, we will see. Thank you for coming on the Truth Table, my friend John. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thanks, Paul. Pleasure being here.
So, can
They're
we?
messing with you already. They're messing with you already in your intro, huh?
Yes. Hello
Well,
from
that's all right.
BC. Hey, White Wolf.
Hey, White Wolf. So we're going to stick with the vibration I'm riding today. I mean, there's a lot of tragic things that happened in the recent developments with this 3D reality. I want to call it that, but I'm going to set an intention for this little video and podcast first, if you would let me. And
Please.
this is what I do every day. Gratitude for oxygen, clean water, nourishment and a roof. But let me have clarity. Let us all have clarity in these moments of universal creator. This is what I choose to call it. It's vibrational energy and frequency, as Nikola Tesla talks about. We are all energy, so we can come through the darkness. Let me speak with clear clarity and feed off all these energies and learn them and transmute them and teach and assist people on their journey. This is my one of my affirmations. This is my true essence, my calling. So so it is. Amen. Whatever.
Yes, I try to use creator too because there's so many gods. As soon as you say God, it could mean anyone. Are they able to claim like Moloch is a god, right? Um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not a good one according to the Bible.
No.
He's
No. I had to take care of some people in my group that had some imagery like that on. So
oh yeah.
you got to really be. Yeah. It's because I have an open group. It's Johnny Z. It's a triple G spiritual MC group. I choose to keep it open because I'm not really fearful of anything, and
Hmm.
I want to but I keep a strong look at that, and I just take them out. I used to engage with them a lot, Paul, and it seems to bring them in more. The dark forces.
Yeah, I try to engage too because good light always, you know, darkness can't survive with light. So if you give the truth, there's a lot of light in that truth and positive. Uh, it's positive light, so it can always overcome the negative. It's just are we able to overcome the negative in order to you know put light on the darkness? It is not easy. It does take a lot of strength because a lot of people are just embedded into the darkness where it just takes over um, their existence, and that's
Yeah,
unfortunate. Now,
that's what basically what I think. Like it beats you down so much, and then you get so programmed into it that it's just the trauma on top of trauma on top of trauma, which I went through in my life, and everybody goes through them, especially with the programming on the mass media and everything else. It's like,
mhm.
and it's been going on since the beginning of time. So, but I think I'm glad you mentioned Three Eye Atlas too. Like, there's some big universe things happening right now in
Mhm.
this moment in time, which is important, I believe, that is awakening a lot of people. So the more the darkness lives in the shadows, so we have to speak our truth and expose it. But this is where I need because I'm like a Hyoki empath, like a super empath, which I've discovered since my awakening. I need to know when to disc from it because then the anger will come up. So because it makes you angry, that's normal human behaviors, and or depressed. Now these are things I had to get out of for a while. Like I used to be like a news watcher every day. That was what I watched. And I realized I just need to disconnect. Now I peek at it now a little bit because it's almost like sooner or later you've seen enough. You know. So I disconnect, and then when I need to talk about it, I talk about it again. We need to shine a light. It was two
Mhm.
years until I started peeking at it again. And it's same old. But
Yeah, like the
it's a
eclipse of April 8th. That to me was
mm-hmm,
a psyop event. The sun was moving in the
mm-hmm,
wrong direction. I mean, just these obvious things that didn't make any sense to me because, the
mm-hmm,
sun rises in the east and sets in the west,
mm-hmm,
but in this particular day, it was going from west to east. so,
mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
these
There's
anomalies, that's the thing about being empath and spiritual is God will help us to see these things that no one else is seeing. They just believe. They have this blind faith that they've been conditioned to have. Now, this is the closest imagery that I got. It could be fake, but let's look at it.
yeah.
So this is the. I don't know what that is. I mean, it could
Whatever
be.
it is, it's a very high strange thing. I watched a guy named Stephen Burns. Hey guys, you should get down. He's all the nations that I do, like
Mhm.
about world peace, like connecting with the collective, and he mentioned something strange. It's never happened before. I mean, it's the third time it's happened in our stellar and interstellar object, but this one's very strange.
Yeah, and it changed colors 3 times. It was like blue, and then
Yeah.
now it's orange or something, and it's like, what the
Well, if
hell?
we'll watch him, we can go right back to the Hopi prophecies where they
Yes.
talk about the blue Kachina.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And yeah, a lot of these prophecies seem to be like right here, like in the now, like we're in it. And I hope so,
I'm telling you.
because we're really living in depravity. The
Yeah.
self-destructive liberals um, in this country are bringing India here. They're basically giving them opportunity to have their kids and their kids' kids uh, become citizens, be able to vote, and they've ruined their country. I mean, they go to the bathroom on the streets, and it's just not like Canada. We're a lot more humane, and we don't group gang rape a grape. Oh, did I say that? Shoot. Like
Great.
that is not our culture, and it doesn't belong
Mhm.
here. So this is just another self-destruction mechanism of the globalist to destroy this beautiful country that we have, and it is a beautiful
Mhm.
country. Here, let me just remove
Yeah.
this three-eye atlas. I don't think I can remove it. What the heck?
Uh-oh. There.
Yeah, there we go.
And we also have a new moon tomorrow, which is important with the practices I use. We can go into a little. I mean, I was in the darkness. Let's just say this. Uh, Not necessarily thinking I was hurting anybody. I had a lot of traumas. Of course, I was in the 3D world doing abuse to my body, which really is the temple. Like you don't realize it when you're doing it to yourself, and then you realize it's like almost generational trauma stuff. Because my father, it just continues and continues, and then of course the karmic cycles hit you in life, like kind of like just so I believe in, like because my it doesn't. You don't think you're hurting anybody, but then you get a sick child, like that's what happened to me. Started getting more depressed with the traumas. And we see what happened this weekend with the I guess Australia. Like these are all traumas people are going to have to deal with, racial traumas. So what I decided to do was just you know get back to Mother Nature first. First off, get back to Mother Nature, and then like you see these ancient peoples,
Hmm.
whether it be whatever. Like I studied India, I studied with the meditation practices I use. I studied the Native American prayers because I had a vision of that. So I started to get back into this. Of course, I'm a Catholic, so I studied a lot of the prophecies in that religion. Let's say about Padre Pio. A lot of these people that are they ordained saints or just gifted they mystics, and of course, and all that stuff always interested me. So I needed to know what these people knew. Of course, then you can go back deeper than that. You're a history buff, so we can go back to ancient Egypt, and all these people had something, and they're building these structures that are we can't even build today. I'm a union carpenter
Yep.
in Philadelphia, and I look at these things, and I'm like, they definitely were more than us. We can't do it now. Like even Baalbek, Lemedon, all these structures they're building, the temples in India, the Allura caves. So I'm like, these people knew something that we didn't know.
Yes.
It's kind of where I went to. And then you study Nikola Tesla. We study all these people like he wanted free energy for the world. But then, of course, the people, and he studied Egypt for that, to get those, and then, of course, the big corporate interests squash that right out. But you think about how much freedom that would give free energy, but they wouldn't make no bread. But a lot of people would not have to worry about that necessity in life, and it could be more things.
Yeah, greed is a
What do you
big
think
problem.
about a lot of this?
Go ahead.
Yeah, what do you think about distractions like in the world, Paul? Like I think a lot of this stuff that's thrown at us left, right, and center are distractions for disclosure and like this too.
Yeah. Yep. but I think it's all design. It's all by design.
No, that's what I
Even the
mean.
timing is by design.
Yeah.
It seems so. Now I did get John Wick told me that Trump messaged you during our show.
It's like one of those. It was a text. Not he didn't message, but it's putting out these texts, and apparently my phone number, my old phone number, must have been hooked up with him somehow. As I'm saying stuff, people are text like 3 or 4 things on my phone. I try to stay out of the politics at all costs because I don't want to. I don't need any more attention thrown to me.
Yeah,
That's
because
what.
first thing I was thinking, well, what's Donald Trump watching the Truth Table for? It's like, did he tell you, like, tell that Everton to slap a lid on his truth?
Well, they both don't want the truth out because I mean, like I told you today before I was doing on. I don't know if I could say the platform, but TT guys, I was, I was, it's because I don't say on certain platforms. I don't know what I could say on your platform, so I will just keep it initials. I think you guys said TT. I did my FB little thing to get the flow state going because I rested for this podcast, getting prepared, and of course, I was just talking about the human trafficking and that whole thing, which is probably a government will say. Yeah, I believe that's
Who else
So
says
then,
it?
I got a violation.
Ah,
Put a
uh-huh.
violation up. So you know, when you tell the truth about certain things, because I said elites, I did say elites. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of elites on that list when
Oh
it comes
yeah.
out. Supposedly the Mars is that thing, but that would wake up a lot of people. See, this is what I also do. Like, even in the darkness, I was in the darkness. I try to. What did I learn from that, or what do I learn from these tragedies around the world right now? I mean, pick it. There's tragedies, like there's things going on around picketing people. So we need to unite, and we have a lot more things that we don't have in common with people. That's another thing I say,
Mhm.
that they just if they were safe where they were, I think immigration and all that stuff happens because of war too, poverty, all this, it's all connected,
Mhm.
and then it's like I'm starting to see this,
But they're trying to micromanage our cows, to stop them from farting. So the
Oh
bull
yeah,
bear is killing them. So they're
yeah, yeah,
controlling the food supply based on a foolish, ending the farting. Come on, man. You
yeah.
poison the food and kill the animal just so they don't fart. It's just
Yeah.
absolutely,
I'll say this.
we're in a
I'll
crazy
say this
world.
every time. I've been using this app called Yuka. I mean, I'm not getting paid by them, guys. I don't. I just use. I promote things that I use. This Yuka app, it will open your eyes. Even like he's saying with the poison foods, you should see me in the supermarket now. It's like I'm scanning everything, and I know it was bad and it was eye opening. It shows you like all the whatever's in that food, and they'll give it a grade from 1 to 100.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like
Unbelievable.
unbelievable.
So what can we do to help people dealing with this dark energy that we're all living in? What could,
Okay, well, what I did was I meditate, of course. Meditation is my medicine. I mean, I really think because to start with that, how I got into meditation, well, that'll be different. But meditation is my medicine. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the beginning. Of course, I walk in Mother Nature to get connected with Source. Let's call it that because it's Source. It was a slow process, but I did was I started to meditate, and it's consistency. So like I did a 10, 15 minute meditation, and because I had a very lucid dream. Let's start out with that. I had a very lucid dream on 10/20/2023, which was my heavenly wedding anniversary, and I was very depressed at the time, like not getting out of bed, kind of stuff like that. I had this the dream about fires and the plane crashes, and it was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It was like in the neighborhood, and then if you guys know what happened after, not sure 6 months after that, a plane did crash right like in my neighborhood. Like that was right where like a little uh, jet coming out of Northeast Airport came and crashed right on Cotman Avenue, which is a major in Philadelphia. And it had like a child on there with that was sick, getting a transplant from out of the country somewhere, and a crash happened, and that was one of the key off. Like something's happening with your meditations. Like you're starting to get visions, or you know. So that connected that, and then but practicing short things because I heard get back to your artwork when I prayed that next day because I was very scared. It was a scary dream. Cold sweats, and I was off all substances. So it wasn't that I woke up in the cold sweats. Wow, that was a real deal dream. And then I found that practice of yoga nidra. It's an ancient Sanskrit meditation practice where it's like a body scan meditation. So of course my mind wanders because I'm like what do they call them, neurodivergent now, like, oh, and I was always the black sheep in my family, so I did black sheep kind of stuff. But then I found that thing on my computer, and that was the first meditation with these headphones with binaural beats, which if anybody knows Gateway experiment, Monroe Sound Science, I don't know if you heard about the Gateway process or Gateway experiment. That's what the lady used in the background, which were binaural beats. And 2 weeks later, I astral projected out my body, my spirit body, or astral body, you want to call it, ceiling. I was looking at myself on the couch, and then I started creating content. And that minute that happened, Paul, I just knew it was. I knew another side. Let's put it that way. There's definitely another side. I had a couple of NDEs with my little adventures, my maniac adventures, but other things that I've connected with now because of tapping into my subconscious mind. Because we remember everything, guys. We learn a lot every day. The meditation resets your nervous system, and then if we intake stuff like we're talking about, we definitely need it. Everybody needs to reset their nervous system, at the least. You don't quite have the gifts of astral projection, like or something like this, because we all have different gifts in this journey. We all have different things that we do. That's why we're incarnated here, to learn from it. And but you will definitely reset your nervous system through these things. That's one thing. So that's one thing. It's probably universal. It's basically like taking a med. And I started with 10-minute meditations because my mind wandered. Then I got 10 minutes done, and I felt great. The person I use is Rosalie Yoga. I'll promote her until the day she saved my life. She's on YouTube. So I found all this stuff on YouTube, everybody, too. It's not like I paid a guru or this and that. That's the one great thing about the computer now. You can probably build a rocket ship on here nowadays, But that's where I started, Paul. And I increased it, but I had time too. This is one other thing I got to tell people. I was in isolation time after that. I didn't want to interact with too many people because I thought I was losing it for real. I thought I was losing it at first because of the awakening. It's like everything came rushing in, Thanks, Paul.
Triple G on Facebook, if anyone would like
Yeah.
to participate and raise your frequency. Hate has no
Yeah.
home here. And I would love
Yeah.
to learn astral projection, like when I'm in the bathroom, like sometimes.
No, talk about the bathroom. Talk about gratitude. I do gratitudes when I do go. I do gratitudes. My brother, my sister couldn't do that too. The attitude of gratitude is real good. But all these people, like that, the group's about talk about truth here. The group's about motivational content, which is really anything. The MC part. The triple G NG used to be sus, but one of my people from Sri Lanka called me and said, you might have to change that NG, for, gangster shit. I wanted to take it out, but, when I needed it. But she's like, that's not very good. That's not very, you might have to change it. So that's like gracious, genius, something else, whatever. Genuine. Like we change it up. You know what I mean? Motivational content, meditative content, whatever. And guess what, Paul? You set my name just perfect. That name's my another alias, by the way. So because I had it in my awakening, which happens too, that I decided to drink some chill down in Miami, Florida, which my head was exploding, and I decided to help some homeless guy. And invited him in the Airbnb, and I got caught. So I lost everything, my phone and everything, and I had to get a new phone. I lost my account. I had another account under my real name, which I'm sworn to withhold any incoming monarchy, invading monarchy. That's what my real name is. So you can call me Johnny Z. You can call me anything you want. Just
Johnny
dinner.
Z.
Yeah, that's what I call
Johnny.
myself. Yeah.
So I also left a
It's
link.
funny because you. Okay.
I also left a link here just for learn how to meditate. It's a
Definitely.
it's on the description, so you can check that out
Yeah.
if you're interested in doing that.
Yeah. So another funny synchronicity about the name of that. I have somebody with that same last name following me now, and she's like, "I would love to know how we're related." And I said, "We're related in the human race. That's it. I'll tell the story because it's a wild story, you know." Yeah. So that there you go. The story. I'll share this to the group. She'll
So
hear it.
John Wick, Donald Trump was not watching the podcast. Just so you know, it was one of those like send all to
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm not hooked up with him. Don't worry. I'm just not with any of them dudes.
yeah, I was a little nervous. I said, "Why are you looking at me? Don't look at me. Stop looking at me.
Yeah,
This is not a
I
fishing
6 a
boat."
day. I'm telling you. Yeah, I started opening them. I'm like, oh no, don't even open them. I just hit the trash can button. Boom, 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 boom. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
stuff like this, Paul. Like, I need money. I'm like, aren't you a billionaire? Like, what do you money for?
Well, I love that I was asked to participate in Turning Point Canada. You know,
There you go.
I think that's very humbling to be even asked,
It is.
and especially after what happened to Charlie Kirk. I mean, it is dangerous. I'm guessing to
No fear, though, Paul. No fear.
there's
I don't like any of that. That's that. I mean, not that I don't. I don't like any of that violence anymore. Like I
no.
was in it too long. I was. I mean, it's like crazy.
The thing is, it's them that are violent, not us. The other
Mm.
side is violent, and they're a lot of the trans men are very violent. They kill. I mean, with that recent, actually, we're trying to raise people's vibration today,
Yeah,
but
we
it's
are.
so hard to stay out of that darkness because it's everywhere. But we do want to raise your frequency. We really
No,
sincerely
that's what I'm
do.
saying. I think all that's related to traumas. I do. Like when we talk about that kind of stuff. Um, it's all related to trauma, generational traumas.
Yeah.
So like that's where like with the guy this weekend, meathead. You know, like all of its traumas, like our addiction. It's the demons come in. This is what my is like. And then I had a friend that was sexually assaulted like last week. You know what I mean? Like they come in because they want to squish the light out. So it's like the demons come in when they're not strong. So and they were in with me. I mean, I was fighting them. I'm fighting. I used to talk to myself at night. My mom used to take pictures of orbs around me. But they come for you when you're weak. So like you said, we get to shine a light on it and just keep resetting that nervous system.
Hmm.
Try to.
So
That's what I
how is your book coming along?
my well, I started my book about a year ago. Somebody offered me because I was part of a consciousness coach challenge. Um, and I met a few people in there. A lot of people that were in my group were in that group, and I got offered it. I started it, but then the shadow work, and that plus they only wanted the good part of my story in that little. It was like a collaboration book. You got a chapter, and I just couldn't break the story up because it didn't make any sense, because you you got to talk about the shadows because it doesn't make any sense with the awakening, it goes together like yin and so
Hmm.
that's kind of why I backed out of it, like I started it, a lot of shadows coming up, what you got to deal with. That's another thing you got to is
Hmm.
they're usually like and then there's some childhood stuff like I realized that because of my little brain of mine, I had some learning, and I was always feeling like the guy that needed to with these things instead of protect. I was good at that kind of thing. So then that because it's a negative cycle, protector like that, and then that's what I was good at. I
Hmm.
was good at being a maniac. But then a lot of other things happened to me. Like I got my nose broken, and this thing came out of it. Oxygen is so key. Nostril breathing, everybody. This is the type of meditation meditations I do is through my nostrils. I couldn't breathe through my nostrils for 25 years because this thing got adjusted maybe 6, 7 times. But the last time the guy had a good left hook or something, and this scar tissue came out, that was right before my awakening too. So you're thinking double amount of oxygen in your nose, in my because I got my head scanned a few times because of nose. And the guy's like, I went to an ear, nose, and throat guy. He said, we can't even fix it. But that dude fixed it. So everything happens for us in here life. So
Yeah.
the oxygen is so key, like the sacred breath they talk about in all the traditions, so key. So I really
Oh
went
yeah.
the meditation I do is like I slow my there's 1,000 different you can do like yoga, pranayama, yoga, all this. But I do slow breaths and I slow my heartbeat down really low.
Because
So
we're really
that's
fighting the spiritual decay of society,
yeah.
and we're so it's like a war. But spiritually, I mean, Creator is always with us, whether you're spiritual, religious, or not. And it's
He's in everyone.
just teaching that and letting everyone know that you don't have to look for the Creator. You're breathing him.
Mm-mm.
He's the water that
That's
we're
right.
drinking. That's what I love
Right.
about Buddhism is it kind of brought all the religions together because I just study them all, and I just want to know as
Yes.
much as I can put together. And it seemed like a pizza or like a painting, but each one was a color, and it was more clear the more I read. That's what I found. That was my experience.
Yes.
Uh,
Uh, I seen the greatest meme in the world. Jesus and Buddha are hanging out now. I like your work. You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah. Well,
Christ consciousness. Like that's what Christ
mm-hmm,
was teaching. Christ consciousness. And he learned it from all the Egyptian mystery
mm-hmm.
schools, and he learned it from he went to India with the yogis. I think
Well,
I mean, not sure, but that and
Bu-
Buddhism is too.
Buddhism made sense of all the other religions to me. Like
Mm-hmm.
in Joshua, that the kingdom of heaven is within you.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem to resonate with me until I read the Gita, and then it made perfect sense. Because
Mm-hmm.
uh, it tells us the material presence of God on earth, and one of them is water. So that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That's how He can be everywhere at the same time,
Yeah. Yeah.
completely facilitating life. Like God is the great facilitator by being water
Yeah.
and earth.
Yeah. Air.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it just amazes me. And the word, everything we speak. That's why they try to change the meanings of words and symbols as a weapon, as a war against our creator. And this,
Well, yes.
yeah, and
It could
that's
be a weapon, or it could be. That's another thing I wanted to say about the speech. I had to really reach myself not to have those negative self talking,
yeah,
because I was always a guy, glasses half empty kind of guy, because like of
yeah,
the
yeah,
life I was living. Like, who's the
absolutely.
guy coming around the corner, and like really like, and then it would happen. So I would give 3 strikes to the thoughts create your reality thing. Like one time I was thinking about my brother's hat, and then like wasn't even in my apartment where I was at. And then it pops on the floor. Where did that hat come from? Wow, you know what I mean? My mom gave me a Benz, but it was like on the floor. I was like, wow, that's weird. But then one time I thought like I had to go get cigarettes in the middle of the night. And I'm like, yeah, in Philadelphia. I'm like, okay, like 3 in the morning. I acted this whole thing out like it's come up to me. And then 2 days later, not in the same location, 2 days later, the exact scenario happened what I was thinking. That's when you start to raise your vibration, it starts to happen quicker and quicker, like things like that.
Hmm.
And I, of course, use my words as a weapon because he had a weapon, and because I wasn't scared. I would say, yo, I'm ready to go, dude. Just but he was behind my cousins. I went like that, but then I was like, yo, this mind is very strong. The words are strong too, so that's where we got to stop. I stopped speaking, um, watching what I say out my mouth, because you can hurt people with your lips just as much as you can do with anything else, for real. And you can hurt yourself with your thoughts, like the
Yeah.
negative thoughts that you have.
So the powers that be are messing with you right now, and I think I don't know if anyone else can notice it, but I'm noticing it. They're making a sound like a And it's crazy. Almost every show they're doing something. Now it's stopped. Isn't that weird? It stopped. Unbelievable. As soon as I brought it
And
up,
these things are brand new.
it's
My sister said I just had these laying around.
unbelievable, eh? Yeah, every show. Like
Yeah, it happens a lot.
and I'm watching, videos and everything, researching, and everything's working fine. As soon as I do a show, I start getting issues with the speakers.
Yeah, all the time. Well, that could be energy too, Paul. Like when I was doing it with a couple people that are talking about
Mm,
their vibrational frequencies that are high level people, that messes with the electronics as well. Because like my
wow,
phone sometimes just yeah, it does,
I
it
never
does.
thought of
All
that.
mm-hmm. Because I'm
I
feeling really good because I had a wedding I had to go to, and like of course I wasn't connected in. And that's another thing, guys. You have a choice what you intake. You have a choice who you talk to, and that's what I started to do. Like making sure if I'm not feeling it, I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? Like kind of.
mm.
Yeah.
So when you start meditating, do you think
hmm
of something? Is there something you pinpoint your vision, your thoughts?
But yeah, I close. I'll concentrate on my third eye. If you want to do it, we can do it real like a little short one. I of course start with the breath. Like we'll set an intention. Like if I'm doing the astral travel, more than just my physical body. It's called a sankalpa, my heartfelt intention. We are more than just our physical bodies. And then you just take a deep breath in, and then you feel your energy on your between your eyes, your third eye, and your heart space. You always go from the heart space, and then but I focus on here between my eyebrows, and I'll just breathe real deep breath, and then I hold at the top, breathe out, and then you breathe in real deep breath, hold at the top. This is how out through your mouth. The out breath's always longer, and then you just third deep breath in, hold at the top, and out breath longer. And then usually when you start, you focus all your heart on your heart space. And then I am more than my physical body. And then she'll guide you through and then you with the body scans, it's usually every you'll start at your crown after your heart space, go to your crown, and you go to your right eye and all the muscles behind your right eye, your right ear, your nostrils, feel the air going in your nostrils. This is what worked for me. So she does it much better, but voices for me. I'm going to start doing a meditation for that kind of stuff. Maybe do a guided meditation, but the female voice works better for me. Maybe because I'm a male, I don't know, but they're softer and it relaxes me. It puts me into a trance. It puts me into a trance state, kind of like if anybody knows about Edgar Casey. I studied a lot about Edgar Casey. My dad put me down with Edgar Casey, which was called the Sleeping Prophet, and he was a religious guy, like coming up. Of course, when he goes into his trance, he talks about everything we just talked about, Paul. Like he calls it the Creator, he calls it Christ consciousness. He was a Bible thumper, knew Bible front to back, but he when he went in the trance, it was totally different. So it was something
Mm,
channeling through him like source energy. But that's where I get to a state of so relaxed. But it's called mind awake, body asleep too, people. So like when you start, it's like you may fall asleep, which is totally normal because you're getting that brainwave state between sleep. It's basically right there before you're sleeping, but you don't go to sleep. Your body's asleep, but your mind's awake. So that's it. And then you see colors behind your eyelids start to form. You have to stay in for a while to give it. You know, and sometimes whatever happens during meditation is supposed to happen. Like one time, and it was must have been everything's got to be perfect to do the astral travel. Paul, like leaving that body, and you don't have to do that because it's necessary. It's just necessary to reset that nervous system. It's basically like taking a Valium, or like what I mean, like boom, feel that's how I feel. And with my therapist, because I still go to therapy, he's like, you get high. Yes, you do. I mean, it's basically that's what happens naturally. It's a natural high. You know,
mm,
because of oxygen. I'm telling you, it's one of the most precious. And then they're cutting down all the trees, and then I start to get aware of things like this. Like it's like the poison in the air.
Yes.
I'm like, well, it makes complete sense after you know that the oxygen is life force energy.
Yes. Yes. And I've seen tests of rainwater, and there's a lot of aluminum, 3,000 parts per million. But the other, I mean, that just breaks down your, your DNA, your cells' ability to repair
Yeah,
themselves. It also lowers your immunity. But the lithium, it was a almost a dose that they give to schizophrenics, like
yeah.
500 parts per million. A dose is like 600. So they're like
Wow,
giving us antipsychotics without consent, without transparency, from the
that's
sky,
right.
which
Hmm.
will, I mean, we're dealing with a very serious situation here of,
I'm sure you saw with the snow color down in the states, like they had pool water that was getting in their pool
mhm.
lids, and this blue, and it was crazy.
Yeah, and I also know that they're allowed to do it to test on their own citizens, so long as there's a war. So that's why we have
Almost
perpetual wars.
that makes sense too. And like they said, people think it's conspiracy, but they cloud seeded in Vietnam. It
Yep,
was a fact. They cloud
yep,
seeded in Vietnam. They did half. You know what I mean? They put chaff out there for the
yep.
radars. Like
And
they do all that stuff. Whether
they're really good at it.
yeah, they're like I said, anything we know, like this,
Hmm.
anything we see, this AI and all this, they probably had that 25
Yes.
years
Yep.
ago.
Yep. And they just wanted to perfect
Well,
it.
that you should that the way I practice then, Paul. I knew you were into that. So it's the gateway experience. That it's fun. It was funded by in the U.S. one of our agencies. I'm just saying because we're going to get red flag, but yes,
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
psychic spy.
We're safe on
It was psychic spying.
We're safe on Rumble. Rumble's been pretty
Are
good. They can.
are you on Rumble? I did
Oh
download
yeah.
Rumble.
Yep. Yep. I've
Cool.
never. Only one of my podcasts was deleted from all everywhere, and that was
Uh
my show about the Vatican, and
oh. Boy.
which is weird.
The great pope.
The
The great pope.
the popes. Yes, I did a show on the
Yeah.
popes, and it was one of my
The
first
black
show.
pope.
Yeah, that was my fourth
Uh,
show. It's gone. It's gone. It just vanished. Even my book. I wrote a book that kind of demonstrated the firmament and a
okay.
spirit coming through and possessing a body. That was absolutely
Hmm.
deleted from, and it was a book, and it was
Right.
deleted from Substack. It's gone. It was erased.
Okay. Wow.
So there's certain. It's crazy, eh? You think that
Yeah, it is.
you
I mean, not really because they know everything we're doing. you know, and this is what I say whenever it gets interrupted, our stuff. And like, I thought all these 5G towers were for like more
yeah,
activity.
shouldn't we be smooth sailing here? It,
Right.
there is no smooth sailing if you're a fisherman in Venezuelan waters.
No,
So
that's for sure,
don't
dude.
go
That's for sure. No, that's fine.
don't go fishing
But they're
there.
probably looking for no, they don't fish. They're looking for oil down there, or they're looking for distraction again.
Hmm.
It's like that. You know what I mean? Another distraction.
And yeah, and I thought,
And another thing, I was thinking this week because like I notice things in patterns. Like there's like you said, there's perpetual wars, but then there's like a lull, and it's like all right, give them a break. Then consciousness will rise again because like the '60s, they got the hippies are taking all kinds of psychedelics to get their conscious. Well, start another war. Do this, but
yeah,
like it's been 80 years. It goes in 80-year cycles. I even saw a video on it after I thought about it, which is weird too. Like I was noticing, like okay, it's World War II, then it's Korea, then it's Vietnam, then it's this, then it's that. That's the only wars we're involved in. And there's other wars around the world, There's always a war going on, you know.
I tell
But
you,
I was worried about them.
the sound I'm hearing is just kind of disturbing. It sounds like a demon.
Oh
Could
boy.
I think we might be able to solve it if you like just log out and come back. That
Okay.
might
Let me see
fix
how to
it.
do this.
And I'll just put a
All right, let me
song on.
try.
I'm gonna put a song on that
Okay,
I
let me see.
wrote called
How we
Apocalypse.
get? I see it. Okay.
But Apocalypse is not doom and gloom and end of the world. It is um, the lifting of the veil. where the truth is revealed to mankind all at once. So we'll see how. Hopefully, this works. Let's see if I can remove myself. So this is a song I wrote. So this was inspired by the lockdowns, the masks, the wars. And I know this show is supposed to be about raising your frequency, but part of that is to deal with the darkness and face it head on.
Yes, spiritual bypassing. That's what Carl Jung calls it. Yeah, you can't spiritually bypass.
Yeah. So that's what this song is, showing the ridiculousness with people with lemons on their face and containers over their head, this fear of the air. You know, the air that we breathe.
True. Like that's another thing. They try to keep everybody in fight or flight. You can't raise your vibration if you're in fear. It's the lowest vibrational frequency.
Yeah, definitely. But my faith is so strong. There really is no fear, or I probably wouldn't do this if I went by fear, because I know, I know I pushed the line with these people, but they're hurting our fellow man, and they've hurt our children. So
yes, they.
Masks on children in school all day is a crime against humanity, as far as I'm concerned. It wasn't based on science. It was based on control, just like Bovair to stop cow farts. It's absolutely insane and ridiculous. Yep. And the noise stopped, so it worked. I was a success.
Cool.
Not I was a success, but it worked. Thank God.
Good. There's nothing but problems. There's problems, just solutions. That's another thing I used to say at work all the time. Got to get the building done. Got to get the. So that's kind of a mindset that I have. Got to get it done, man. We got to get it done somehow. So we get it done.
So that's why we are talking about the dark things. Now tomorrow we have this 3-eye atlas. So I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. Are they going to do a big show? Who knows? We know the technology exists. They could have Jesus coming from the clouds, you know. And you know,
well, this
thing about
Sorry. That's another thing I was thinking, like with the distractions with because there were some they were having in the United States, they were having those meetings in Congress about releasing some of the footage and some of the technology. These are some whistleblowers down here, which I kind of take with a grain of salt too. I think it's just like in front of us, because it's been around since '47. We know with Roswell, but like that's facts. So, but like you Project Bluebeam, yeah, I'm all over that stuff too.
Yeah,
like they can do whatever they want.
And I see, the ISIS photos don't show any planes, don't show any buildings. They're just showing water and continents. So it's like not showing anything. So this game is going to end. The truth is the apocalypse is the lifting of the veil, and thank God it's
Hmm.
coming.
Yeah,
I think some of us see before others, and we're going to try to help you see too, and to
that's it. Yeah, that's you're right because like it's that's when you're supposed to see. You're gonna see. That's it. And it's like I say to everybody, we can only control one person, which is ourselves. We can control
yeah.
what we watch, we control what we consume, we can control
Hmm.
a lot of these things. You can't change the past. This is another good thing that I stopped living in the past because I can never change it. I need to know it because knowledge is power. Only when it's in action.
Oh my
You can
God.
know all the things.
Oh,
You know,
sorry. Sorry, I saw
yeah,
Jesse. You remember the missing link?
yeah, yeah.
Jesse. Oh my God, I love you, brother. I'm glad you survived that freaking pileup. Holy smokes! I saw the picture. You were in there, right in the
Oh,
middle
I didn't
too.
see.
Oh my God. He was there. There was zero visibility, and so all these cars just smashed into each other, and he was right in the middle.
Wow,
Yeah, God kept him
wow.
alive. That's for sure. We need you, brother.
God keeps a lot of people alive. For you never know. Like you're one step away. So that's another thing. Your numbers up. When your numbers up. Like I've gotten out of so much stuff that I've like talk about Rex. Like you got guardian angels already protecting you.
Hmm.
I wrote a list of my cars that weren't anymore after I was in jail one time from some dumb shit. And I just said nothing to do. I started writing things down. My cars where they went. I survived that one. Had no seatbelts. Like, wait a minute, something's protecting me here. I got to do. There's something I have to do on this planet, and that was going. That's part of my book too, Paul. But yeah, it's going. I have to put it like I can't just talk about the awakening. I can't
Yeah.
talk about the good parts because like a lot of people like to live in that spiritual bypassing. Like
Hmm.
it's all flowers and rainbows, but if you don't shine a light on, they're not going to get exposed, and they got a lot of power. Mm.
And as far as Jesse's question, we did talk about Bill C-3 and that it passed, and how they only have the Indians only have to live here for 3 years, and they can go back to their home country, and all their babies and their babies will become instant Canadian citizens. Will be able to come here and basically pillage the wealth of the country.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's a betrayal, but all of them, all the bills are betrayals, and
Right.
like Bill C-9 and all the online, trying to control our speech. And I mean, these people can't be voted out anymore. They've got full control of the elections.
That's
They
true.
got control of all the parties. The police
Yep.
work for them, so we don't have
Yep.
them to stop them. We have nobody except ourselves.
Same thing here. Same thing in the states. It's
Mm-hmm.
like well, there's no term limits. It's like they're whoever's there up in there. There's just that's it.
Yep.
They got the most money. They pour so much money into these things too. When there's people like, can we like limit the money we spend on that? Maybe we should go knock on some doors or
Mm-hmm.
something again. You know,
Now,
my
Gordon.
dad was in politics.
Yeah.
My dad was in politics in the state of Pennsylvania, and he was a state representative. And later on in my life, he did one because he wanted to change the world. Of course, I'm going to do this, that, and the other. And it could time around, and he hit it hard the first time he won in 19 and in 19 or whatever his state rep. I don't know. It's every 2 years, maybe 2 years. He didn't hit it as hard, and they lost that election by like 500, something small. But then later on in life, we were getting it into the bar, and I was asking him, why didn't you do that? Because I remember it, like how much the difference was. And he's like, boys club. It's like you got to pay to play, and it's in one hand washes the other.
Yep.
It's like you do this for me, and we'll do that for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
He's like, it just wasn't going to happen.
And the corporations are, paying the lawyers to write these bills to give them the
Yeah.
ability to poison our food, to use 3D printed chicken.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like Campbell's Soup is in Camden, right? And did you hear what they said? The
Yeah.
executive said about Campbell's
Yep.
Soup.
Yep.
That's right over the river from Philadelphia. Campbell's is located. Oh yeah,
Unbelievable.
but it is another thing. If you want to talk about this, like with the big pharma, that's how I got started on my real love, which is opiates. You know what I mean? Like I went from, of course, I went down the list. I can't blame it all on big pharma, but I got my teeth pulled. I was which is another city. I was working in a pharmaceutical company up the Poconos at the time. I got dry socketed in my mouth. They gave me some Percocets and forget about it. But then I had a lawsuit, which my mother thought I was going to go. Had a lawsuit for Endo Center International. And guess what? I got a whole $350 from a $5 billion lawsuit because of the dragging through courts, and they wanted to sign me to sign peace. And I know so many people that got caught up in that time with the oxycontins and the
Mm-hmm.
I didn't sign the release because I read the whole thing. Guess what? I was pretty used to reading legal documents because I used to get them. I thought it was something coming from me, but it was the other to talk to my mom about it. And my dad too. It was on his birthday in New York City where I'm like, oh, this is done. We're gonna get him. But the release was like so the bankers could just you could release all claims if you get X amount of dollars. Which is like 1,800. It turned out 5 billion. You know what I mean? And they get to keep the company going. And they're sitting in Ireland, so like a huge corporation. So they got to keep the company. Everybody's settled. They a lot of people signed a release because they didn't read, and they could sign, but I didn't sign it. I don't know if I can do that, sue or whatnot, but or not hold them liable. But I called it blood money anyways.
Yep.
They it wasn't meant to be, and that's why I said, you know what, it was blood money anyway, and we'll get it other ways. We'll talk about this stuff.
Yep.
I didn't talk about it for a while because of that thing going on, and now it's pretty much done. So I'll probably be smashing them a little bit too.
Well, I hope that you will come on again because I
I
enjoy our
will.
conversation. I enjoy our conversations, and because it's really important stuff. It's we love our fellow man, and that's why it's such an important conversation between us because um, we let people know they're not alone. And there are ways to comfort your loved ones, comfort yourself, to make you
Neighbors.
stronger, make you a stronger person as God intended you to be,
Hmm.
and lead you out of the darkness and let you face those demons and see how powerful you really are, and how the demons should be scared of you.
And they should be. That's what I tell people. Yo, don't even come there. Protect my path. That's it.
Yeah. But
You
we're not
know.
we're not going to be silent as our fellow man is being abused. We're not going to be silent, even if
No,
they could take my life, but I'm eternal. So I'm not really worried about
that's
that.
right.
I would love to be uh, proactive and productive while I am alive, and
Hmm.
even if we just save one person, it would be worth it all, because that's how much
That's
value
right.
each and every one of you have. You are not less. You are much more than you think you are, and
You're much more than your physical body.
y-
Put it that way. Like honestly.
absolutely. And thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate you, John,
Thank you for having
and
me.
thank you
Take
everyone at home. I
Paul.
love that Jesse's here.
Hmm.
White Wolf, our brothers. It's amazing to see you here. I'm glad you survived the accident, and I hope to have Dana back, Dana Metcalf, and I'll let you know if I become a member of Turning Point Canada. That would be fun. And until next time, I'm Paul Everton, host here at the Truth Table.